Good evening, everyone. My name is Terry Burns, and I'm the 2017 Artistic Director of Words Aloud. I'm very pleased to welcome you to this year's festival. As we open the festival, I would like to respectfully acknowledge that this event is taking place on the traditional territory of the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation, which consists of the Saugeen Ojibwe First Nation and the Chippewas of Nawash Unceded First Nation. Though we typically do open the festival on the Friday night, some of you will have spent the evening with us last night as we welcomed Janet Rogers and Marta Singh to a special Canada 150 presentation at the Owen Sound Library. And boy, if you weren't there, you really missed something. It was so good. It was fabulous. Entitled Speaking of Home, Two Perspectives, this was a compelling opportunity to reflect on issues of identity, belonging, and responsibility, and was very warmly received by the audience. Earlier today, Janet also brought her voice and words to students at Saugeen District Secondary School and to an audience at Mawikwadong Native Cultural Resource Center. And the Peterborough Poetry Collective wowed students over at Grey Highlands Secondary School with performances and workshops. So we're heading into Words Aloud's official first main stage evening with a number of wonderful events already under our belts. I'm so looking forward to the next 3 days of readings and performances. As in previous years, we have tried to reflect Canada's racial, ethnic, gender, immigrant, First Nations, Métis, and regional diversity in our programming. We're very pleased to welcome established, mid-career, and emerging poets, spoken word artists, and storytellers from a range of communities. As varied as these artistic voices are, I think you'll find certain common themes, ideas, and experiences weaving their way through the next few days. So without further ado, I'd like to invite our own Steve Morel up to the stage as MC. Have fun, everyone.
This is a word aloud. Welcome. And also this, acne. But this is words aloud, an idea, a concept, a rural rustling in the heart that grew into an impetuous hormone-addled teenager now 14 years old and growing in ways she could never have imagined. 60 shows in her bones, over 150 performers coursing through her young veins. It's insane to imagine that much wisdom in something so young. Sing out her praise, her mentor mothers, Terry, Arabez, so many others, Hazel, Megan, Donna, Liz. Every single one a piece of her heart. This DNA of this young upstart poetry fest. Is year 14 going to be the best? They'll all still be so proud, so I look at this crowd and I say, when I say words, you say loud. Words, words, When I say words, you say loud. Words up, words up. Words up. There. Do you hear it? Sounds like teen spirit. Now I look at you 14-year-old, and say, open your mind and put the cell phones away. Thank you. Thank you. With lighting effects by Randy Martin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Words Aloud 2017. Yes, I'm Steve Morel. Yes, I'm your MC. The first night of our stage performances of this year's Words Aloud Spoken Word Festival. And tonight, as Terry already said, we have 3 wonderful performers, very different performers for you. We're going to meet 2 of them, we'll take a little break, and then we'll come back and meet the 3rd tonight. Before we get to our first of the 3 poets tonight, we have a special guest. Because it's the opening night of the festival, we'd like to introduce the Mayor of West Grey, Kevin Eccles. He is the Mayor of the municipality of West Grey and who is a valued supporter of Words Aloud once again this year. So we're delighted to have Kevin back again this year to read a poem of his choosing, ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Kevin Eccles.
Thank you. 1 from 100. Thank you, Jeff. Quick question. Was anybody down at Foodland today doing any grocery shopping?
Yeah, we were.
Okay, now you've got me scared. I heard before I was coming here tonight, I asked an individual if he was coming. And he said, no, I'm a little scared of doing that. And I said, why? He said, well, I heard that there was a run on tomatoes at Foodland today. So I've got my eyes on you two, okay? When I said I was coming here. So now that there's only 2 of you, okay, I can watch out for that. Pleasure to be back here again this year to participate in the opening ceremonies and the opening of Words Aloud 14. Sorry, I didn't prompt you like Steve did. When I say Words Aloud, you say 14, not words, and I'll try not to knock off any of the lighting here. And bring light to this great festival. Been a humble and proud supporter for, I can't say all 14 years, but at least 12. I know that I've participated and been here and enjoy it so much. I enjoy it so much is that you have converted me, Liz, to being a poet. And not writing my own, because as my wife says, what from here to here you have trouble. From here to here, writing would be just impossible for me. So, just as a little information, I'm going to be reading from a poet from Portugal this year. My wife and I had the great experience about the 1st of September. For the West Grey residents out there, yeah, I did take 2 weeks holidays, and we went to Portugal. For years, you've been, when anybody travels and you buy the tourism type things, I found myself in a touristy type store in Lisbon on the main square, and what I come out of the store with was a book of poetry. Reading through it, and yeah, that is what I want to do this evening. So instead of making fun of Rob Ford and a few other elected officials, as I may have done in the past, Terry, I'm just going to introduce the poet, and Floribela Especa. I spent 2 weeks in Portugal. It doesn't mean that I learned the language there. Man. Difficult. Floribela was born in 1894, passed away on December 8th, 1930, from suicide on her 36th birthday. She moved as she was born, as I said, and where does it say it here? She was from an unwed mother. Obviously in the 1890s would have been tough enough. Married 3 times, divorced twice, and she had no children, but very ahead of her time. At 19, she moved from her city, Evora, to Lisbon and enrolled in law school at the University of Lisbon. As I said, very much ahead of her time. Pushed the boundaries of poetry from that and going forward. Struggled, obviously. with herself, but in the end, her poetry and her writings have inspired many artists and poets in Portugal. So, with that, from Florabella, and she writes in sonnet form, "The poem I wrote for you. Let me tell you the exquisite poem my lips have on them, ready to tell. Its lines are carved in a Parian marble. I chiseled them myself, just for you. They hold rich velvet sorrows. They burn like pale silks set on fire. Let me give you this exquisite poem, made just for you, to lose your mind. But, my love, I won't say it out just yet, for there is always beauty on a woman's lips when they are concealed unspoken poetry. I love you so much, and I've never even kissed you. And in that never-given kiss, my darling, I keep the prettiest poem I've ever written you." Steve said I could only do one poem, but I have the microphone and he's sitting down, so I'm going to do a second one. God, I'm a microphone hog. Sorry, Steve. The second one, from Florabella again. Being a poet. Being a poet means being higher, being greater than everyone. Biting like it's a kiss. Begging like a beggar, and giving like a king, of the kingdom of either side of a sea of pain. It means having 1,000 brilliant longings and not even knowing that you long. Having a twinkle star right here inside and the talons and wings of a condor. It means hungering and thirsting for the infantile, donning each gold and satin morning as a helmet, condensing the world into a single shout. And it means loving you madly, just like this. It means that you are soul and blood and life in me, and that I'll sing out for all the world to hear. Thank you. Enjoy, embrace not only West Grey, but the poetry that is evolved from here. Thank you very much, and have a great weekend.